My name's Rhonda Birkhimer, and I am a little over 11 years in recovery from substance use disorder. And I now work in a residential treatment facility as a counselor. My parents were together. It was just me and my sister and my parents. They were together until I was about 12 years old when they finally separated. At that point is when I finally started, I guess, acting out from some of the different life things that I'd experienced up until that point, because now I didn't have a family setting. I didn't have a sister, I lived with a single father, which is, not the normal. And I was starting to rebel because that was just what, I guess I knew to do or whatever. Going to the little corner store that was kind of like a pharmacy type store, and I'd buy cans of Glade and huff them. Unbelievable. But that's what I did. As I started progressing in high school, I had behaviors such as shoplifting was a thing I liked to do, apparently. It was the littlest things. It wasn't to support an addiction. It was, I guess I felt entitled. I did it to the point where I caught a felony by the time I was 16 years old for just shoplifting, like jewelry and clothes. Nothing that I sold to make money or nothing that I needed to live. It was just stupid ass stuff, but it caught me a felony. And I spent 6 months in a juvenile program in Columbus because I had a felony as a 16-year-old. And I was in there with a girl that had murdered her baby. And I was just like, wow, I'm so cool. I'm in this place with murderers, and all I did was shoplift, but it felt cool for some reason. Didn't feel like I wasn't disappointed in myself. I think I was proud of myself for that. So after I got out of that and came back, didn't steal anymore, but more drugs and alcohol became more present in my life, just using more drugs and alcohol. My drug use was more like just marijuana, hallucinogens, and whatever pill I could come across. I honestly could not even tell you what all I took because I would just open people's medicine cabinets and look at if it advised against something on the bottle, then I felt like it was what I needed to put in me. I got out of high school. I started dating somebody that was of legal drinking age. So I started going into bar and drinking more, which led to meeting more people that use more advanced drugs, right? So then I started doing cocaine. I had found some people that I became my best friends or whatever. They sold cocaine. That was intriguing. I got sucked into it big time, me and my husband, because I was married at the time. So I became somebody that was dependent on cocaine. I worked at an accounting firm, like a 9-to-5 type job, and did cocaine all day long, in the bathroom at work and driving to work and driving home from work, and I was just doing it all the time. I don't recall what happened. I just got really sick, tired to where I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't do anything, and my husband didn't know what was going on, so he took me to my dad's house and dropped me off, and he's like, something's wrong with her. I don't know, she just won't get up. She just keeps sleeping. So I was at my parents' house for a little bit. They got concerned. They took me to the hospital, and the hospital told them that I had had a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have no idea when the stroke happened. I don't know how long it was from the time the stroke happened to when I finally ended up at the hospital. A, I don't remember, and B, I don't know if I was ever even told about it. But they were really confused because they couldn't figure out why I'd had a stroke. Not sure if my family knew that I was on cocaine. I don't know if that was ever brought to their attention at that hospital. But they just could not figure me out. So they ended up transporting me from a hospital in Hamilton County to Cleveland Clinic so that they could try to... I was 24 years old,
Right.
So they could try to figure it out. Well, on the way to Cleveland Clinic in the ambulance, I had a second stroke. and it was a more severe stroke. The first one wasn't as bad. I was, walking, talking, like my family didn't know I had had a stroke. The second stroke affected me really bad. Like it was weird because I was transported by ambulance and my family drove up there to meet me. When they got up there to see me, they had no idea what they were walking into. I'd had another stroke. I was not being inappropriate. I was stroke faced. Like I was all stroked out. They had no idea what the hell, you know. So that was extremely scary because then I'm in Cleveland, way far away from Cincinnati, where my family is. So I remember my family spent a lot of time up there with me. They would drive up every weekend. My mom would spend days up there with me. Got up there, they put me on OxyContin because I was in pain, I was in pain. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get up and go to the bathroom. I was catheterized. I couldn't take care of myself. I had paralysis on my left side, or maybe right side. Don't even know which side, but I had some paralysis. So I was in really bad shape. They put me on OxyContin, and I remember even telling them, I don't want to be on this. I've heard really bad shit about this. Oh, you're fine. You're in a controlled environment. The doctor's prescribing it to you. We give it to you at certain times. You're fine. So that began my belief in the medical providers that were treating me, right? Because that's what they do. So I stayed in Cleveland Clinic for about a month and then went to their skilled nursing facility for therapy so I could learn how to walk again. I was there for about a month, and then I was discharged home. So very quick hospital stay, but by the time I was discharged home, I was a clock watcher for my next dose of OxyContin. I was hooked on it. Even though they gave it to me at set times, they monitored me, I was hooked. So I got out of there, did physical therapy, was living with my mom because I had to have somebody help take care of me. And so about a year into physical therapy, I felt comfortable enough in my walking abilities to just stop therapy. I was on pain meds. I was good. And I had a belief about myself that would be me for the rest of my life, and that was what I was okay with. So I quit doing physical therapy, kept the pills. One day I had this thing in me where I just went in the doctor and I'm like, quit giving me these pills. I don't take them because I hurt. I take them to get high. And he says, okay, you just didn't give them to me. And so, what do? You just go and find them. I mean, he didn't educate me on what I'm going to feel like shit. He didn't tell me I was going to shit myself. He didn't do anything. He just didn't give them to me. So, I had issues I had to work through with medical providers because I, at the time, felt like his job was to guide me since I came to him and I was honest, I'm getting high from these. That's not what their jobs were, and at the time, I don't think they had people coming to them and saying to them, I'm just getting high from these pills, don't give them to me, They probably felt like, well, good for you for telling me, and I'll just quit giving them to you now. So that just ended up bad, I was on the streets for a minute dealing with pills, but I feel like most opiate users always graduate to what's more accessible and cheaper, and that is heroin, It's so much cheaper and it's so much easier to get than pills. I was not going to be that person, So I'm a very open, honest person and very, carefree. So I'm blessed that a year and a half into my heroin use, I was dealing with trying to keep myself on disability from where I had my strokes, because at this time I'm just a full-blown dope dealer, dope user. I don't want to work and not be on Social Security, so I'm going to fight this. So I'm fighting Social Security, being an avid heroin user, and ended up going into the federal building with heroin in my purse. So I got caught, got a charge, got arrested, and I didn't stop using at that time, but once you catch a drug charge and you're in felony court, they stay on your ass. They don't just let that go. And so about a year and a half after catching the charge, I kind of was getting tired of living the way I lived, but I didn't want to quit getting high. And I was honest with them about that. I was like, I don't want to stop using. I want to stop using. You know, I want to have that desire to not use, but I don't have it at all. I just want to get high. That's all I want to do. So, you know, I went into a drug court residential treatment program, did that. So when that happened, I had went back to the same residential place with a female that I was in the first time with. And I mean, like, we just walked out of this place graduating, and we're both walking back in. And it was like, what the fuck? So that was part of what made me start thinking, like, I just don't want to keep doing this. You know, yes, I like getting high. But I don't like doing this. I don't like, you know, I thought I was going to get my family back, and now I'm back to this, and I have nowhere to live. I have no belongings, you know. That's what finally made me decide that I didn't want to keep doing it. So let's just do this thing that they're trying to teach me to do. Let's just do that. And that's what I did. And that was 11 years ago, a little over 11 years ago.
Wow.
So I didn't do it. I always thought fake it till you make it is fake it till you get your graduation diploma and you don't have to report it anymore. That's what and so that was my goal.
Right.
I was just going to get through this. I was do what they told me to do until I didn't have to do it anymore. By the time I didn't have to do it anymore, I just wanted to keep doing it. Once everything changed, it was like, yeah, I don't want to just sit around and not do anything. And so, you know, it created goals for me that I didn't for myself. You know, it was really, really kind of crazy the way it all played out. I'm a big advocate now for people that are court ordered to treatment because
Well, yeah.
I didn't want it.
Exactly.
I fought it. But eventually it worked because she just wouldn't give up on me, you know?
So cool.
It is. It's amazing. Every day I just don't get high because that's not an option for me. What I do utilize is the support network that I have, which is huge. I mean, like, the support network is huge because I've been involved in so many things during the 11 years of recovery. Like, I have professional support, I have peer support, I have family support, I have support meetings support, because I know, like, if I can observe something in myself when I need to observe it, that I have lots of people that are watching out for me in that aspect, you know. So I stay in contact with my support network, you know, maybe not daily because there's a lot of it, but reaching out to somebody to have support from, like, on a daily basis is what keeps me going, I feel like.
Yeah.
And just knowing that no matter what, no matter how bad things get, they're going to get better. I know that because I've lived so much of that, you know.
Right.
I've been through so much shit in my life that, you know, to have 2 strokes at 24 years old and then I know things will always get better no matter how bad they get. And so just knowing that I just need to get through the day or the hour, you know, really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because if anything, I've proven that, like, I'm so strong. I'm such a strong person.